We're going to be talking about how we can generate more sales as resellers on eBay. So, if you're new to the channel, we do eBay store reviews every week. And if you want a free eBay store review, you can drop it in the comment section down below. And what we're going to be dealing with today is title structure and why this is so important, especially if you're a beginner, to be able to structure our titles so they could be found in search by the correct buyer. And if we're talking about the eBay algorithm, we talk about it all the time, but we yet to fully understand what it really is. It is a search-based algorithm. It's trying to align the correct buyer with the products that you're trying to sell. So if you want to check out down in the comments section, I'm going to be providing a little guide that Zeek Analytics did on understanding the basic principles behind the eBay algorithm, aka also known as Cassini. Cassini is the name of the eBay algorithm. So if you're able to understand some of the basic principles on what gets the eBay algorithm to work for you rather than against you, title structure is where we're going to start. Remember, eBay's algorithm is search-based. So if we aren't structuring our titles correctly for the majority of the buyers to be able to find our items that we're listing on eBay, it's going to be a hard time to be able to sell our products if we're not structuring them in the right way. So I have a few eBay stores pulled up from last week where we didn't have a lot of time to get through all of them, but we're gonna start going right through them right now. And I think that everyone can learn something, even though we might not be reviewing your store in particular. But I really think that by taking some of these principles and these keys and applying them to your store is really going to make the difference. So you could check out that Zeek Analytics article and just really brush through it, go through it, and see what things you could take from that article to start applying it to your business. So we have unique options NC from last week, and looks like they have about 122 items listed, but they have sold 2.2 thousand items so far. So they aren't a new reseller by any means, but their store is still kind of in its early stages. It looks like they're an electronics seller. So electronics have a higher sell through rate in general, especially when you're comparing it to like clothing. Electronics far outcompete clothing in most categories as far as sell-through rate. So, you could have a 122 item store and sell through all those items within a month. So, looks like you're picking up some iPads, some Kindles, a bunch of little bits of everything. I like this though. I really truly believe everyone starts as an everything seller, and there is nothing wrong with being an everything seller. I just think that if you want to continue to scale and grow your business, being an everything seller can become a little bit challenging as your listing habit grows and your orders coming in and growing your inventory. Storing that stuff can kind of be tricky. But let's see, 122 items. Let's look at what you're selling. We would love to sell 1 or 2 items a day out of the store. I like to use like a 1% kind of as a metric, as a whole of a 1% daily sell-through rate in your store to really gauge the health of your store. That means your titles are correct. That means your pricing is correct. And that means you're picking up items with higher sell-through rates. So 1% is a good barometer, but don't take it as like law. It's not a huge deal if you're not selling 1% a day, but it's just a good way to track kind of what you're going through as you build your store. So you've sold a couple items today. So this cell phone in this chain, let's see, $18, $39. You're selling through some stuff. See, so that's what I'm talking about. Like your store, when you're selling electronics and a little bit of everything, your store doesn't need to be huge necessarily. You just need to be able to store those items properly, ship them in a decent amount of time. 122 items, that's great. You're selling through quite a few items every day. I don't know what your listing goal is. If you are in the chat, do you want to put your listing goal, your listing habit, and kind of what your vision is for your business? But yeah, you listed these gemstones here, a Kindle, So it looks like you had, so from yesterday's listings, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5 a day. So let's just say you're doing 5 a day and you're selling about 5 a day, 4 to 5 a day. That's really nice. People always ask, when should I increase my listing goal? At what point? I believe that once you start to sell through about 50 to 75% of your daily listed amount, that should be a good indicator to you when you should start planning on maybe ramping up your listings. If you're not yet selling 50% of what you're listing every day, then you're still going to want to be able to stay at that amount until you surpass that threshold, I guess. You don't want to be increasing your listing goal and yet you're doing 10 a day listings, but you're selling 3 a day. I wouldn't be thinking about increasing my listing goal. I would really like to see me selling 5 to 7 a day before I ever start to think about that. So, something to keep in mind if you're ever thinking about increasing your listing goal, make sure that you are selling at least 50% of what you're listing every day. You will find that you will run out of room. You'll run out of cash flow. You're gonna start investing more money into your business and not seeing that money come back to you. But 122 items and you're selling that amount. That's really nice. The pictures look great. I mean, there's nothing wrong with them. Let's take a look at some of these Kindles, calculator. Got quite a few calculators. Let's see. All right, so 2 Barnes & Noble Nook First Edition 2 gigabyte Wi-Fi. I don't put commas or slashes, any apostrophes, anything like that in my title. I think that is a waste of character and it's not searchable. So I know you're trying to separate 2 gigabytes from Wi-Fi and Wi-Fi from 6 inches. Just put it as is. Make sure you put spaces in between it, but I don't put any special characters because I could just usually find a way to add in another keyword to be able to point more fingers at my item. So your photos look really good. What I look for in photos is just like, is it well lit and is the color accurate? That's really all I look for. Sharpness and all that stuff, that's not really a big deal for me because remember, at the end of the day, we're selling used stuff on eBay. So as far as product photography, it does not need to be from a professional standpoint. It just needs to be good enough, right? So these look really good. The photos look good. The defects you're pointing out, that's awesome. You put 4 parts not working, and you do not accept returns and free shipping. Very good. So item specifics look good, and you have about this product with all the stuff, all the specs. Your description, I would put something more of like your return policy. I know you don't have one, but like maybe your shipping, your how long does it take for your shipping and handling? Kind of just a little bit about yourself. All this just says is 2 Barnes and Noble Nook. It's just the title, copy and pasted. So maybe you're listing from your phone because when you list from your phone, you are not able to put in a condition description. So I would just work on maybe adding a little bit more to your item description. Maybe look to start listing from the computer. But hey, don't change what's working. I just say keep doing what you're doing. Maybe look into possibly offering some type of returns because, I know you say you do not accept returns and I know it's for parts not working. And for selling electronics, I know it could be a little bit different, but also we want to, as sellers, stand behind the products that we're selling. So if we're not offering returns, from a buyer's point of view, what do you think that that's signaling to the buyer? That, hey, I'm not accepting returns. So does that mean if I buy this product and it doesn't work, then where am I at in that process? So I always believe that you should offer some type of returns because a buyer can always force a return. Maybe they don't like it or if there's something to it, they're always going to force a return and they can always get their money back. So keep in mind, and if you're trying to have a little bit of a competitive advantage, I would try to see if offering returns can be some way you could start to generate a little bit more business. But yeah, so getting into the chat. I hope you're all doing well. If you're just joining in, if you want an eBay store review, just drop it in the comment section down below, and I will add you to the list. Fart Sack Jack, new watcher here. What is going on? Appreciate you. Candace Cutler says, Flipping Gulf Coast is my store. Okay, I'll add you to the list. I'm trying to go from hobby to full-time to get my husband off the road as a truck driver. Homeschooling mom of 3. Little time, but I'm trying. I'd love a review. Yes, I'll add you to the list. And yes, the struggle is real. Wow, you are homeschooling 3 kids. Yes, that is more than a full-time job, because you don't go off the clock until your kids go to bed, essentially. You're working. So I appreciate you, and I respect the grind. So Flipping Gulf Coast. And I'll tell you what, that everything you just said right now is possible. It is doable. So do not feel discouraged if you don't see the results right now. But I'm telling you right now, eBay, with whatever you want to sell, is a great way to multiply resources. 3.5 years ago, I never thought I would be in this position, making a full-time income on a mountain in the middle of nowhere, selling used clothing. So it is possible. All about like what your goal is and what your vision is, and it's totally doable. So I have your store pulled up here. I added you to the list, and hopefully we can charge through some of these other stores and get to yours. Iliomora, appreciate you. They say, hey, Bo, here to support. Thank you for the info and help you provide. Hey, I appreciate you. I thank you for coming in time and time again. Everyone that comes in, I appreciate you all. You're here to get better. You're here to learn. And that's what I get fulfillment out of, is just if one person can take this information and run with it, and it can change their life in a positive way, that is where I get my joy, my pleasure and fulfillment, is just helping people. I love selling on eBay, don't get me wrong, but I like helping people more, and especially when they want to make that jump from, your full-time job or part-time job, eBay can make it happen. So Candace Cutler says, trying to niche down to clothes and shoes, also on Poshmark and Mercari. Okay, yeah, you'll find out soon enough, once you build up your eBay store, it's going to slowly outcompete those other platforms. I have a hard time finding sellers on Poshmark and Mercari that are selling 30, 40, 50, 60 items a day. It feels like there's more of those sellers on eBay. So eBay is where the sales volume is going. But nothing wrong with selling on multiple platforms as long as you can manage it. Iliomora says, got to that resell Nirvana. Nice. 25 up and 25 out. That is a beautiful, it's beautiful. That's our goal, right? Is to hopefully eventually sell as much as we list. Diane says, taking pictures is part of my problem. I just order a newer light ring, right on. Ring light. It was a lighting deal. Good. Yes. Like I said, when I look at photos, I look for lighting and color accuracy. I don't really pay too much attention into like sharpness and, the removal of the background. I just want it to be color accurate and well lit. That's it. So I think that lighting can fix 90% of your problems. For me, I have the newer LED bicolored lights, and they are really bright, so I actually just have them turned down halfway, and they really do a great job. A nice soft light. So Robert says, Bo, you're the man. Thanks for your insight on eBay. Hey, appreciate you. Thank you, you guys. And also, if you have questions too, you can leave them in the comments, and we'll get to them. So let's get back on track. We got Aquarian Rose. So we almost got to your store last week, but we're getting to it now. You have 1.7 thousand items sold on a 400-item store. Let's look at kind of like what your sell-through rate and what we're looking at here. So 400 items. So we would love to sell 4 items a day, right? Let's see what we got going on. We've sold 2 today. You're halfway there already. So yesterday you sold 1, 2, 3 on the 6th, and then on the 4th and the 5th, there was no sales. So just was wondering if you were active listing that day or what kind of happened. But on the 3rd, you had an encouraging day of 4 sales. You had 2 sales on the second, 2 sales on the first. It's kind of just looks a little spotty, but when you do have sales, you usually get 2 to 4 a day. That's pretty nice. So your newest listings, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You looks like you're listing 5 a day. You listed 5 yesterday. Let's look at some of your newest ones here. Fat Farm Shorts. If you guys aren't picking up Fat Farm right now, it's definitely a brand that is on the uptrend. Very Y2K, early 2000s type of brand, streetwear. So you got it at $23. I think that's pretty decent price. You do have free expedited shipping. I am wondering what your strategy is on that. I charge shipping for all of my clothing items. There are instances where it does make sense, but with clothing, I want to be able to have the ability to withhold shipping in case someone is abusing the return policy. So I think your photos look nice and clear. It looks like you do remove the background, which is fine. Color looks good. The lighting looks good. I would highly recommend getting a yardstick from either your local Home Depot, order one on Amazon, however you could get one, and adding measurements to your photos. It's really going to help cut down on returns. It's really going to help the buyer figure if this is going to even fit them. So putting measurements in your photos is really helpful, time saving, and some people put the measurements in the description, but not everyone reads the description, so that could be a time saver where you kind of kill 2 birds with 1 stone by just putting those measurements in your photos. And it looks like you're listing from the desktop because you have a little condition description. It says VGUC, very good used condition. I don't think a lot of buyers are going to know what that means, so it'd be better to spell out very good used condition, no rips or stains or holes, because no one really knows what VGUC would mean. All right, but item specifics look pretty good. Seller notes, hip hop, Bermuda. All right, so yeah, those item specifics look on point. Item description from the seller: classic hip-hop styling with oversized, generous cut, natural distressing from the manufacturer. All right, I ship same day or next day. Please feel free to reach out with any questions. So that's a pretty decent description. Yeah, adding in the time it takes for you to ship your item out and then your return policy. And then I like to take what is in my condition description and put that as the first line in my item description. Looks like you had something a little bit different there. I do that because it saves time, and I do that because not every buyer reads one or the other. So I just want to make sure that they are aware of the condition of the item before they buy it. But let's look at your titles. You have Fat Farm Shorts, men's, size 38. I think that's a really good title. I would exclude size and add in some other type of keyword if possible. I don't use the word size. Number one, because I don't believe that it's searched as often in clothing, but with shoes, yes, you're going to want to put the word size, but with clothing, I feel like I could find a better keyword that's going to help my ideal buyer find my item versus just putting size. So that could be a little tweak and adjustment you have. And wondering why you're doing free shipping, I don't offer it. It does make sense to do it in some categories, but with clothing, it can be difficult because if you do get a lot of doesn't fit returns, you're not able to withhold shipping on that item. So figuring out what you're trying to do, I would change that and try to see if that works for your margins. I do believe it's going to help, and I believe that your price should stay at that same and charge for shipping. So, yeah, just little tweaks there. Let's see a couple of your other. I think your titles look fine. You got Maurice's Capris women's size. Remember, we want to go in this type of order: brand, item, gender, size. Brand, item, gender, size. So if you could remember the acronym BIGS, someone commented on the YouTube channel, BIGS, brand, item, gender size. So if you could kind of remember that acronym and use that as a guide to list your items, and then everything that's after the size, that's going to be keywords for you to be able to plug in to accurately describe your item. But I think the rest of your titles look pretty good. Ashley Stewart, palazzo pants, plus size. You're definitely going to want to put gender. I know, but you're like, oh, it's a women's. Yeah, I know, but just put gender. It does make a difference, especially when people leave out the color or even the item type. It's like it's a shirt, but you don't put shirt in the title. That is a no-brainer, and it's mandatory. You need to put what the item is in the title. Otherwise, it's going to have a hard time selling. So just a few little tweaks here. I would definitely try to be proactive and fill out the whole 80 characters. You're kind of doing a disservice to yourself with all the good work that you're putting in, and then you write a title that's only 50 characters. It's through the title on where the buyer, on how the buyer can find your item. So if you're only doing 60 characters in your title and you have 20 more left, that's more ways that a buyer can find your item if you could just do a little more keyword research and start to master in items you're selling. But for everything else, your titles look great. You're selling some bras. You're listed some bras. Let's see. Like, for example, here, these no boundaries, flare leggings, women's 3XL, 21 plaid, bohemian 70s. So I would do no boundaries, pants, women's 3XL, and then flare, leggings, plaid, bohemian 70s would all be keywords. So I would do no boundaries, pants, women's 3XL. So that's a little change there. And it looks like you have free shipping on some stuff and then you're charging shipping on other stuff. So definitely stick with the charging of the shipping. I guess I clicked on your newest listing and it had free shipping for some reason, but most of your other items have shipping charge. So you might want to change that Fat Farm pair of shorts. That could be really helpful for you. Hope that was awesome. Yolanda, what's going on? That was an error. eBay was glitching while I listed yesterday. Hey, it's not eBay if you don't have errors, right? It's not eBay if you don't have a couple glitches a day. This is the new normal. Well, it's not new. They've always been glitching and having problems, but I understand. I also have a few little things going on with my eBay account where the messages, I have 9 unread messages, but then when I go into the messages, I have no unread messages. So there's a lot of little things going on eBay. So if you are experiencing little glitches, you're not the only one. Elio says, question, how would you go about growing from 25? Would you go up 5 till I get to my goal, or go to my goal of 50 all at once? Yeah, you definitely want to grow slow. The eBay resale game is grow slow. Unless you have multiple other businesses to put a large amount of cash up front to be able to invest, I really believe if you're just a person just like me trying to grow a resale business, you're going to want to take your time and grow slow. So 25 to 30 sounds totally reasonable. Even 25 to 35 sounds pretty doable. I only say that because I'm a big management guy. I love management, and as soon as I feel like things become unmanageable, that's when I start to slow down and start to reanalyze what I'm doing with my time, and if I'm able to build sustaining success with your listing habit. So you don't want to put yourself in a position where you're listing too much and you can't sustain it. Remember, when you make this change, you need to make the change as if you're going to keep doing it for the foreseeable future. So that's why I say grow slow. Maybe start doing 30 a day. And when you start to see you catch up to consistently sell between 20 and 25 a day, that's when you can now jump from 30 to 35 a day. But you don't want to be increasing too much, because whatever you mismanage, you will lose. It's a principle, and that goes with all things in life, not just eBay. You mismanage it, you lose it. So you want to grow slow and not too fast. So Yolanda says, Aquarian Rose is me. I normally charge shipping. Yeah, so you got a glitch going on. That's totally fine. Everything looked good in your store. I would just work on a few little tweaks with your titles. um, and just keep listing. I don't know if your listing habit looked like 5 a day. What is your kind of long-term vision with your kind of business so I could better help you? Sandra, what's going on? Good to see you. How is it in Texas? Is it warming up? I'm sure it is. Hi, Bo, on a break and just caught you live. Yeah, I appreciate you. Good to see you and hope you're doing well. Winter Dawn. I'll just call you Heidi. Hybo was an eBay seller for fun years ago, but now starting it all up again more seriously. Caregiver to my husband and living on disability. You are my inspiration. Wonderful insights too. Hey, thank you. I appreciate comments like that. You could be doing anything right now, and you came here to learn, and that's where I'm here, just to provide you guys with as much value as I can. I can't teach you how to make millions on eBay because I'm not making millions on eBay, but I could teach you how to grow a 6-figure reselling business. And like I said, if one person just takes one little nugget from this live stream and applies it to their business, that will make me as happy as I can be, right? So, you're a caregiver and you're living on disability. I'll just tell you right now, don't lose hope, don't lose faith, and eBay can be a way to build a successful business from home. If you saw where I lived, people are shocked when I talk to people and they, oh, what do you do? Talk to people at my local church, and they're like, what? It's all cowboys and farms out here, and when they hear that I'm reselling used clothing on the internet, they're usually in shock because of where I live. You could do this from no matter where you live and make decent money. So keep going. Diane says, if you do free shipping, doesn't it bring your price up and someone may not see your item if they're searching for a price range, like if they're searching max 25 but your price is higher? Yeah, so if you're offering free shipping, your mindset from a seller's point of view is that you want to build in the shipping price into your pricing. So there's so much psychological things behind it, but you're correct. If you're building the shipping price into your original price, then the cutoff would be, if people are sorting by price, in which they do, then you're going to be left out of the search. So if you're charging $24.95 free shipping, then anyone searching for $20 and under, you're going to be left out. And keep in mind that most items, 9 out of 10 items sold on eBay, are $20 and under. 9 out of 10 items sold on eBay, sales for $20 and under. So keep that in mind as you grow your business. But most people are in the market for items that are everyday products, not breaking the bank. So when you're building your pricing structure, you want to keep that in mind if you are offering free shipping. So that's why I don't offer free shipping for the return reason. But a good point by Diane. Yes, they will be cut off from search if you are doing that. Yolanda says, thanks so much. It helps me so much to know I don't suck as bad as I think. No, you're doing great. I think we're all in different parts of this process. It's just you trying to compare yourself to you, and you being like last month and last year. Don't compare yourself to anyone else but yourself, and as you continue to grow your store. So Ilio says, thanks again. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a manager at my full time, so I understand you 100%. Fart Sack Jack says, I love nuggets. Yeah. All right, Max. Hey, are you taking more store review requests right now? Yeah, Max, if you want to put them in the comment section, I have 4 more queued up here. But what I've been doing is after the live streams, if I don't get to you, I just bookmark your store for next week. So, yes, feel free to drop your store. Hi, Bo. Store review, please. Fair and share. I'm an everything store with almost 2,800 items, listing 10 a day. Would like to figure what I'm doing wrong. Thank you. Finally caught you live. All right, cool. Well, thanks for coming on. And yes, I will get your store queued up here. 2,800 items. Everything store. That is not easy. I'll just say that. So props to you. That's very good. Looking at your store real quick. That looks great. So I'll be digging into that here coming up. And Yolanda says, I work a full-time job, so 5 is feasible and attainable for now, for sure. My short-term goal is to get better items and higher ASP. Long-term is to grow enough to replace my income once I retire. Yeah, so Yolanda, that comes with time. So as you keep spending more time researching the items that you want to sell, you will naturally start looking for those items that have higher sell-through rates, higher average sale price. The more you become an expert in your niche and knowledgeable about the items that you're selling, the more aware that you become about the market demand and what is available in abundance in your area. So it just comes with time. When I first started reselling, I didn't know anything about clothing. And when you go back to look at my oldest items in my store, it shows because I was picking up extra small tops and 00 American Eagle jeans. And it's like, yeah, I'm getting these great brands, but they're the worst sizes possible. So I think that just it takes time to develop some knowledge and some information about the items that you want to sell. So don't be discouraged if you don't think you know enough right now. I really think that it just comes from practice and repetition of doing it. So yeah, I'm looking around everywhere. We got Boomer's Sneakers Shop coming up. We're going to take a look. So, boom, here we go. So this is mainly shoes. We got shoes and we got some streetwear. All right, this is going to be a nice store to review. So you got 179 items, 100% feedback, 1.2 thousand items sold. Very good. Right off the bat, I think your photos look fantastic. Really good. I love the wood grain background. I don't think that it's too busy. So it looks really nice, clear, well lit. It looks like you're doing maybe a type of flat lay because be hard to get these items on the board if it was a vertical flat lay. But so it looks good. Your shoe photos look great. So let's just look. 179 items. I have a feeling you're going to be selling more than a couple items a day. Your pricing looks good. So 179 items. We'd love to see 1 to 2 sales a day. Yesterday you had 2 great shoe sales. The day before you had 2 sales. The day before that you had 4. And on the 3rd you had 4. So you're obviously selling through more than 1% of your store. So that's really nice to see. And your listing, let's see, yesterday you listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you're listing a good amount every day. Wow. Could be another eBay glitch, but it's showing to me that you listed 30 items yesterday. So some of your titles, Air Force Fleece Sweatpants men's medium, I would do Air Jordan pants men's medium. And then you put sweatpants, fleece, cherrywood red, all as keywords. I don't know about you could put the product number if they are more rare in the title. That can be helpful. So these are more rare, and you did that. Washed look. You could put faded, washed. And then Adidas, Adifoam Q, gray foam shoes, originals. Okay, so I like the title, but I would just restructure it. Adidas shoes, men's size 13, and then everything else as a keyword. Because you want to be able to get all of the people looking for Adidas shoes, all of the men that are looking for Adidas shoes, you want all of them to come along. You don't just want the Adidas Adifoam Q gray foam shoes viewers. You want all of them. So Adidas shoes, men's size 13, and then everything else looks beautiful. So Adidas Ultra Boost, Cold Ready DNA, Gray Core, Black Running Shoes, G something, blah, 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 men's size 7. Okay, so Adidas shoes, men's size 7, and then everything else is a keyword. Same thing with these Nike shoes, men's size 7, and then everything else is a keyword. You have Nike, Clemson, Tigers, college football sideline jacket. And then you put men's size large at the end. So I would put Nike jacket, men's large, and then everything else as keywords. And if it is a college team, what I would suggest actually is putting, and this is in the wrong category too, I would put Clemson Tigers jacket, men's, large, and then I would put all the keywords, and then I would put the brand Nike last, because this is, you want the people looking for Clemson Tigers gear to find this. So it's in the wrong category, so you're going to want to switch it to NCAA football category versus putting it in activewear jackets, because your ideal buyer is a Clemson Tigers fan. So you're going to want to put that in front of them. It might be a little harder for them to find it if it's in activewear jackets. Not saying it can't be found, but it will be better found when it's in the correct category. I think your photos look really good. I would suggest adding measurements, because it's going to be really helpful for the end buyer to see if this will ever fit. Good shipping price, good return policy, $134. It is brand new, so I understand that. Gray, fit, regular, large. Item specifics look good. Your item description looks great. I would actually make it a little bit, the font a little bit bigger. That's all. You're going to want to put your return policy and your time it takes for you to ship in there. That's going to be helpful. But yeah, nonetheless, great product. I think finding items in general is the hardest part, right? So if you got that down, then fixing the titles and the photos and all that can happen over time. But finding the right items, finding a good source, that is something that is always needs to be worked upon as you grow your business, is finding the right, correct items. I don't do stock photos. It looks like you have a stock photo there, because some brands have been known to enforce a Vero using their stock photography. So something you might want to consider swapping that photo out. You have Disney, Mickey Mouse shorts, extra small, adult, park, spirit, coral, orange. I would do Disney shorts, men's or adult, extra small, and then everything else as keywords like Mickey Mouse. This Air Jordan shirt, I do Air Jordan shirt, men's 2XL, and then everything else as a keyword. But you have some really nice items in your store, and it shows you're selling through. I don't know the correct amount you're listing every day. Say you're listing 30 a day, but you're selling 5 a day. You're just definitely going to want to keep at that goal or lower that goal until you start selling more closer to what you're listing. But nonetheless, great photos. Just start working on that title structure. I know you have a lot of hype items, and it really makes sense to put a lot of those model numbers and keywords in the front. But remember, we're trying to get the majority of buyers. We want all of the buyers looking for Nike shoes to scroll through our Nike shoes, not just the people that are looking for a specific brand or model. We want all of them. So just work on brand, item, gender, size, and I think that's really going to be helpful for you. So we're going to go into the next one. Let's jump back into it. So we got, all right. Okay, so Max, we got you. You say your store is Silver Thread. All right. Yeah, if you guys are just joining right now, you can get an eBay store review by just typing in the comments section. And if I don't get to you for whatever reason, I will add you to the list for next week. I usually can get to between 5 and 7, depends on how much I'm blabbing and going through things. But I'm really trying to aim through about 5-7 store reviews every week. But yeah, we added you, Max. So everybody hit the like for all this info. Yes, smash like if you're getting value. I appreciate you guys. If you're new, we do these on a weekly basis. So if you miss out, it's okay. We'll get to you next week. But we got you. Fartsack Jack says, I want to have you check my store, but I'm afraid of the roasting. Yeah, everything comes from my heart. I don't want to put people down. I don't want to discourage anyone. All I'm here is to provide constructive criticism, to be able to encourage people. Yeah, you might not be doing good right now, But if you start applying some of these principles and strategies that we're talking about, you can make the difference in the long run. And remember, you don't need to be great to start, but rather start to be great. So no one is a perfect person to start. So whatever I say about anyone's store, I'm not doing it to break you down. I'm doing it to build you up. Because if you were to look at my store 2 years ago, you would be like, Bo, what are you doing? You're going crazy. So everyone starts somewhere. I just think that the path to getting better and better takes time. So here I'm just trying to provide you with some insights so you could start working on them. But hey, drop your store and I will add you to the list. Adriel Ortiz says, I need all the roasting. Haha, the goods need that critique. Okay, so adding you to the list. I may need to start going live on Saturday to keep up with y'all. We got like 9 stores on the list. All right. So Nomad Expert, I'm here. Here. I appreciate you. Fort Sack Jack says, I had one guy check my store once and he was rude AF. Laugh out loud. He was like, oh, those shoes are garbage. They won't sell. Those pics are horrible. Your background sucks. What a great encouraging thing to say to someone. You know, whatever style of coaching they want to do, that's up to them. But I always felt like getting people to take action is it's hard when you discourage people, you know, and you're expecting them to do well, right? It's like, I want to build people up. I want to speak life into people, knowing that, hey, first of all, you have an eBay store. That's great. You're trying. That's awesome. Now let's make some tweaks. Let's make some adjustments so you can start optimizing your store. But definitely throwing someone under the bus and kicking them while they're down. I have never seen any instance where that has been a great motivator for people. Like, think of it as a coach. You're coaching someone at a gym and you go, you suck. What are you doing? You can't even lift 500 pounds. You're terrible. You know, that isn't encouraging. That isn't helpful. So here I'm just trying to be positive and helpful for you guys. If I do see something that can be worked on, I will be putting it nicely. Let's just Okay, I glitched, but I'm back. All right, so we're back. I was like, Jesus, okay, sorry I'd asked. No worries. I get it. I'm no pro. Yeah, hey, we're all here. We're all starting somewhere. So yeah, leave your store down below and we'll get into it. Ivan, you say, finally caught you on a live. Would love a store review. My store is Fortune Threads. I'm currently listing 5 new items a day, but it will show that I list more since I end and sell similar. I gotcha. All right. You know, I will add you to the list, Fortune Threads. All right. So for people that are waiting for a store review, don't feel like I won't get to you, because I will. It just might not be till next week. Steven, you say, hey, Bo, thanks for the review last week. I immediately took action on my store based on your feedback. Very good. I appreciate your investment in helping me improve. Hey, I'm here. I'm here to help you guys. I'm here to really help you if you're thinking about starting an eBay business, starting a resale business, and maybe start working for yourself, because you have such good potential inside you. Don't ever think that you can do it, that you cannot do it. You can. Maybe you just lack some information. So that is it right there. You know, don't think that it's not achievable, it's not doable, because if you are serious and you take your business seriously, you will get out of eBay what you put into it. So, you know, I that's awesome. You took action, and you know, it's really just going back to the basics, right? The basics of all things, you know, going back to titles, finding quality product, and pricing it correctly. Nomad Expert says, I list 3 to 5 a day, paid $6 for the Clemson jackets. Nice. May was the best month ever. Great job. I mean, your store was kicking butt. I liked it. So keep doing what you're doing. And going back to what I said when I was reviewing your store, the battle is fought in the sourcing, in the trenches. If you can find a good source, oh my goodness. That's most of the work is done. Now you just need to get good at your titles, get good at your photos, and price your items correctly. But you could do all of those things and have a bad source, and your items will never sell. So very good. I really appreciated your quality of the items that you had in your store. Kayla says, please review the goods. Yes, I added you. Yes, I got you on the list. Oh yeah. I'd probably finger flicked him. Yeah, that's true. That's true. That's very good. Ivan says, "Thank you, Bo. You're welcome." So yeah, let's get back into it. We got lowest price deals. So we got you queued up. Let's see, lowest price deals. We got you. So getting into it, the layout, like your branding, it looks great. I always suggest having something because it's better than nothing. But it isn't definitely going to be like, oh my God, my sales, they took off because I updated my banner. Wow. It's like, it just looks better from a buyer's point of view that you're taking it seriously. So I'm going to take you seriously. This looks great. Your photos look clear. They look well lit. The colors look great. The brands look good. The pricing, awesome. It looks like you have some sort of bucket pricing going on. So you have 1,000 items. You sold 4.2 thousand items. And what do we got here? We got, let's just take a look at your sales. We would love to be selling 10 a day, right? 10 a day would be ideal for this size store. So you sold one so far today. How many yesterday? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 yesterday. A good bit on the 5th. Very good. All right, so no, it's very, very good. Looks like you're selling between like 5 and 7 a day just from that quick glimpse. But let's look at some of your titles on how we can get it better, right? Let's look at some of your newest listings. Ann Taylor tank top, women's medium. So it is a tank top, and you did great. I would put Ann Taylor shirt, women's medium, and then after medium, I would put tank top. So just a quick little switcheroo there. Shipping looks good, and you have free returns. That is awesome. Orvis sweater, women's large. Oh, love to see it. I love to see it. Orvis sweater, women's large. Perfect. Great title. Free returns. $8.90 shipping. Great job. Let's look to see if you have any measurements. You have measurements. That's awesome. Let's look at your item specifics. Wow. Nice. They are filled out. They look great. Oh my goodness. Look at this item description, everybody. Look at that. That is beautiful. Great job. Bullet points, fast, same day shipping, via USPS with tracking number. You have measurements. Only recommendation here is I would just either make it a little bit larger, the text, and also make these bold, or make at least this one bold. Making it stick out the most important parts to your listing is going to help the buyer read, which they have a hard time doing these days. But so far, just little tweaks in your titles. I would do Nike shirt, men's 2XL, and then right after 2XL, I would put polo. Under Armour sweatshirt, women's medium. I would use sweatshirt as a keyword, and then I would put Under Armour sweater, women's medium, and then after medium, I would put sweatshirt. Tommy Bahama shirt, men's XL. I think you have the good basis of a foundation to continue to grow on in this store. Your pricing does not look crazy, which is another hard time people have with emotional attachment to their items, so they feel like they should be pricing them more. I think that this is just a really nice average price for the items that you're selling. So maybe go into your bulk editor, go into your oldest listings, and start tweaking some of those oldest listings so you can start optimizing some of that stale inventory. So we're going to get right into the next one. I want to go quick. I'm going to have to text the mail guy to come back, or I will drop off the packages later. So that little adjustment. But 5-star thrifters, you are up next. I hope you are here. If not, you could catch it on the replay. So 5-star thrifters, 90% positive feedback, not the best. I would work on that for sure. Not saying feedback is like the reason why people buy stuff, but having a 90% feedback is pretty low on eBay. So you're definitely going to want to work on whatever you are, your processes, your descriptions, your titles, things like that. 183 items, 16 sold. So you're just getting into it. That's okay. It wouldn't take a lot to get one negative feedback with this amount of items and sales will take you down, quite a bit and quite quickly. So, looks like you are just starting out. You listed 3 items today, some Wrangler jeans men's, good title there. Looks like you're selling a little bit of everything, a projector, an Abercrombie and Fitch top. So yeah, let's see, you got 183 items you sold. You hadn't had a sale in 2 days, and then you sold a bra on the 5th, shoes on the 3rd, boots on the 2nd. Yeah, so what I would do, first thing, is just slow down. Make sure you're really filling out all the things you need to fill out in your item description, in your item specifics. Make sure you're matching the correct item up, whether you're selling similar off of someone else's listings, making sure that you're listing it in the correct category. At this point, I would really look to see on the accuracy of my listings. You want to really try to build the most perfect listing first before you start to grow this, especially at 90% feedback. You don't want to be causing more errors than you need to. Very quickly, eBay can drop your store from top rated plus to below standard just by making a few mistakes, especially when your store is that small. But Ivan says, thank you. Hustle and grow. As much as I hate selling clothes, I was thinking about adding 200 to 500 clothing items, but only ones that have 50% sell-through or more. Yeah, the good thing is that I could take my time and can be very picky. Yeah, 100%. I mean, clothing is like the thing that people, especially resellers, usually run away from. I think eBay really is a kind of a detriment to that because of all of the item specifics you have to fill out, to really have your item found. I've heard time and time again, people are like, oh, I'm a reseller of clothing, but I chose Poshmark because it was easier. So eBay can, as long as you could get past learning some of the item specifics and things like that, listing on eBay, clothing on eBay can be a beautiful thing. But yeah, I say go for it. There's plenty of clothing out there. There's clothing everywhere. So as far as finding inventory, that should be no problem. But then once you start to develop what you're trying to sell, setting some standards of the 50% sell-through and higher is going to be a great way that you don't have stuff like me sitting stuff for a year. I usually try to aim for about 30% and higher. That way I know that it could somewhat sell within a year. But I appreciate you coming on and yeah, just kind of learning about your story and all that. So Nomad Expert says, thanks for the store review. I'm going to update those titles. Yes. Work on those titles because that's really the whole point of this live stream is that we're looking to work on the title so our buyers can find our items. So that is the key. Gadget Time says, just subscribed. You love my deals as my store. I will add you to the list. We're going to get through it. So you love my deals. Gotcha. Cool. Everyone's store's popping up. That's awesome. So 5-star thrifters, we're done with you. We're on to flipping Gulf Coast next. Kayla says, just to give some insight on our store, we mainly do clothes, but have some hats and shoes. We list 7 a day now. We started at 5, but slowly started moving up. Okay, so very good. So you started at 5, but started to move up, and you sell mainly clothes and hats and shoes. Yeah, I think that, you might think like, hey, I'm only listing a couple more than what I'm used to. I think when you start out, especially if you're new, just start slow. Go to 5 a day, master that, then go to 7 a day. Go to 9, start to see your sales catch up. Don't grow too fast. Make sure that you stay at 5 a day for some time. Start averaging 2, 3, 4, 5 sales a day, and that's going to be the signal to you to keep ramping up your business. But yeah, very good. I am going to just text real quick the USPS guy, and I take packages. Okay, done. All right, so flipping Gulf Coast, we got you on deck. Hopefully you're here. If not, it's okay. You got some good branding going on. You've sold almost 1,000 items. You have 600 listed. It looks like you got mainly clothing, photos. It looks like there's some kind of like sometimes the lighting can look a little uneven on some of these photos. So I don't know what you're using for lights or whatnot, but I think lighting is something that everyone really needs to try and correct just to make sure your photos are well lit so the color can be as accurate as possible. Like these jean shorts look good, but then you look at some other things like this top, this dress, there's like some hard shadows. So sometimes that could be a little bit harder for people to really see the color or, really gauge how accurate that the item is being displayed. So fixing the lighting can be a really easy way. Just go buy a ring light, go buy a softbox, and you'll be able to have better lighting for your products. But let's see, 564 items. Let's just see what you're selling. So on the 7th, so today you sold some Hokas. Yesterday you sold SpongeBob thing, some DVDs. So on the 5th you sold 3 items. On the 4th you sold 3. And on the 3rd you sold 2. All right, yeah. Pretty good basis to go off of. I don't know your listing goal, so kind of hard to figure out, like, let's see, just for example, you listed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So let's just say you're listing 10 a day. I say just keep listing until your sales reach what you're listing, or at least half. You have Lily Pulitzer Women's 10 Pink. I think that's a great title right there. Lily Pulitzer, I would put Lily Pulitzer Shorts. So Lily Pulitzer Shorts Women's 10 Pink. You have chino shorts kind of towards the end of your title. Remember, brand, item, gender, size. That's going to really help the buyers, the majority of buyers, find your item. Vintage Nike shorts, men's. You have shorts twice in the title, so you're going to want to remove that and replace it with a better keyword. Lily Pulitzer Etta shirt, women's small V-neck. So Lily Pulitzer shirt, women's small. You have a good one here, Lily Pulitzer shirt, women's medium. Your shipping looks a little crazy, I will say, and I put that nicely. $12.55 shipping on a first class item is too much. It's too much. It's you should be charging. You want to give the buyer the best deal possible, right? And by doing that, we want to be able to charge the best shipping price that we can. I'm not trying to make money from my customers off of the shipping. I'm trying to give them the best shipping price possible. So you're going to want to change your shipping price from $12.55 to $6.95. If it weighs less than a pound, that's going to be shipped USPS first class, and you're going to want to be able to accurately provide the correct shipping price. I've seen people have shipping prices for jeans for $21. And from a buyer's point of view, they're going to look at other sellers and they're going to go, well, why are most sellers charging $8 for shipping, and why is this seller charging $21 for shipping? That's going to be a big way to deter interested buyers away from your products. So fixing your shipping price is key. I have 3 flat rate shipping prices. $6.95 for USPS first class. That's all the items that are under 1 pound. $8.95 for jeans, sweaters, things that are going to be shipped in a flat rate envelope, USPS priority. That's $8.95. Jackets, boots, bigger items, that's going to be a flat $14.95 USPS priority. So that's kind of how I would do it. But yeah, your shipping price, it looks like it's just blanketed everywhere you have. Okay. For example, this Chico's crop jeans, $21 shipping. You might have calculated shipping turned on. I would highly suggest switching to a flat rate shipping, either through your business policies or through creating your own flat shipping price. But it's just too much money for those items. Like this tank top should not cost $12.55 to ship. The price might be great, but the shipping should be about $5.95 to $6.95. So that correction right there alone will help you get more sales. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more stores to do. I think that we're going to be adding those stores to next week's reviews. If you want a guaranteed store, this is what we do. Marcus and I, Dixon's Pickens, we have a reseller mentorship. And right now, for a limited time, we only have a free trial, 7 days, where you could try it out, where we do give you an eBay store review during our Zoom calls. You have access to a reseller spreadsheet, and you will have access to a listing item specifics guide where it covers every single clothing item specific that you can download for free upon joining. So you could join 32 other members getting value, growing their stores, and implementing the same strategies and tips that helped us do over $300,000 in sales last year on eBay. So you could check it out. It's not for everyone because not everyone knows how to use Discord. Not everyone knows how to use the spreadsheet. That's okay. But that's why we're offering the 7 days free. Try it out. It's just $1 a day after that. But I hope you all have a blessed rest of the week. I'm adding to people's stores for next week to be reviewed. And if you're catching this on the replay and you want an eBay store review, just drop it in the comments and I will add you to the list as well. If you guys want to know what is selling in our eBay store and the types of items that I'm looking to pick up, you're going to want to check out this video right here where it goes over the same types of items that I continue to sell in my store, what types of profits that I'm making, and I think it could be really helpful for you for the next time that you go outsourcing. Maybe you can find some of those items as well. Have a blessed rest of the day. Take care.